Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review video. Today we will be looking at Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, released this past week. This video contains spoilers in the later half, so I highly recommend you guys go and watch the movie yourself. I'll be breaking the video into two parts. The beginning half is a non-spoiler review and my score for the movie, as well as my hopes for the future of the MCU. Now before we hop in, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Alright, I think I'm going to begin with something I believe we can all agree on. When it comes to recent Marvel movies, the comedy to anything serious ratio has been all sorts of whack. But fortunately, this movie has some extremely well-balanced scenes. There are so many instances where I suspected they'd make a joke to lessen the blow of a serious situation, but they didn't, which I think was the right choice. I really hope that Kevin Feige and the others in charge of Marvel keep up this trend of darker movies staying, darker. Because if you know anything about the comics, with the introduction of Kang, their comic panels are a lot more like Invincible than lighthearted jokes. Which will actually bring me to my next positive. There was really only one instance that I saw where they wouldn't let a damn joke die, which I'll get into in the spoilers section of the video because it happens at the end of the movie. But anyways, the next good point I'd like to talk about is the visuals. I mean, they are downright stunning. Whatever they're paying the visual effects artists isn't enough. The movie has some of the best visuals I've seen come out of Marvel, which is honestly saying something, since Marvel's movies have become, 3% live action and 97% CG. Fortunately for this movie, it really works well, which I can't say is the same for a fairly similar movie that recently came out that I won't name here, but anywho, I think that'll bring us to my first real negative of this film, since we talked about the visuals, which is the music. Now, I'm not saying the music was bad by any means. However, it was very bland. In a lot of the film, it just sounded like generic action music, which was kind of jarring because I know that Marvel does really well with their music. And to see a movie not have that level of what I know Marvel can achieve when it comes to music is kind of weird. So it wasn't necessarily the fact that it was bad music, I just know that they can do better. Okay, I'm sure you guys have gotten tired of me talking about it, but what can I say? I've got a soft spot for familial bonds, and the relationship between Cassie and Scott is truly a beautiful one. You can see how much Cassie admires her father and loves him, and Scott's determination to make up for the 5 years that he was gone, stuck in that time warp, and all the years he spent in prison. It is a really good portrayal of a healthy father and daughter relationship. Not that I would know, but still, from an outside point of view, I feel like this was a really good portrayal of that. And that's going to bring me to my final point in this non-spoilers portion of the video, which was the costume design. They did a fantastic job with Kang's costume. They made it relatively similar to how it is in the comics, and yet it didn't look goofy at all. They managed to pull that out. They managed to pull it straight out of the comics. It was kind of interesting. I think they've always done Ant-Man's costume extremely well. It's very unique, and the fact that it's simple but looks futuristic and live action enough to fit the universe very well. And I know how much they want to try to adhere to comic book accuracy with certain characters, which I can admire. However, there's only one character that I thought looked fucking weird, which was MODOK. But to give them credit where credit is due, I don't think you can make that character in live action without it looking kind of dumb. because he's just a giant head with tiny little arms. It is... He's a weird looking character, and even though I personally thought the character looked super weird and it took a while to get used to him, he matched the comic book look very well. They did a fantastic job with his costume design and with just the overall look that he has. They did a fantastic job. Now for the score of this movie, it's a solid 7.75 out of 10. It has some really good moments, and it's visually very stunning. However, the few jokes that did go on longer than I want them to really dragged it down, as well as the music really kind of was underwhelming, which is unfortunate. However, this movie does give me some pretty high hopes for the future of the MCU. Speaking of which... Alright, MODOK, we'll start there, was a freaking fantastic addition. He has a whole, anime arc in the movie. However, I really hope he's not actually dead because of how big of a character he is in the comics. I hope they bring him back. Not to mention the whole dick scene was fantastic. I don't know if I'll be able to find a clip of it. But basically, the premise of it is he's like, I'm tired of being a bad guy. I don't know what to do. And Cassie's like, just don't be a dick. And so he single-handedly defeats Kang by screaming, I don't want to be a dick anymore. It's great. I love it. It's such a funny portrayal, and they did a fantastic job of, portraying a broken man who is really goofy. I think they did a fantastic job there. Another way that I found they did a really good job was with Jonathan Majors, who played Kang the Conqueror. In the post-credit scene, he plays the Council of Kangs and did a fantastic job making each individual Kang have their own personality, their own way they speak, the own way they walk and stuff. I think he did a fantastic job there. The only thing that I found really weird about his whole part of the movie was through 85% of the time that Kang was on the screen, he was drowning in sweat. It was kind of gross and really weird that he was it looked like he'd been in a 90s soap opera movie where he's standing in the rain with a jukebox waiting to have somebody come to a window and open it for him. It was really weird, and it threw me off a little bit. Now, aside from drowning Kang and the really stupid joke at the end where Scott is having this existential crisis of whether or not Kang is actually gone, and they run with that joke for literally the last 5 minutes of the movie, and it was really irritating. That's the joke I was talking about at the beginning of the video. It goes on for far too long. And it's quite upsetting that it goes on for that long. However, this movie, with how it got serious and it stayed serious and it was good enough to give me hope, I am super excited for the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which I just know from the trailer is going to absolutely break my heart. And I'm can't wait for it. I really can't. All right, so my final thoughts. This movie seems like it's really setting up, I think, a truly good future for the MCU. And I'm really excited for it. If you have any recommendations for other movies or TV shows or whatever you'd like me to cover, leave it down in the comments below. Later on this week, I will be doing a movie review on the movie Seven, which came out in 1995. I know it's an older movie, and it's a suspense movie, but it's a movie that I hold really close to my heart. I really, really like that movie, and my score is kind of biased. But next week, I will be covering Rio because of the poll that I had on my channel. I'll be posting a poll probably once every other week or so to get a feel for how you guys want my channel to go. And with that, I think it concludes us. Be sure to leave a like if you liked and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.